So I think this is a super important topic, and it's honestly something I really only figured out this past year in my third year. Um, and yeah, in my first and second year, like coming into university, it was so crazy and everything was happening so fast. And then when I finally figured out, like I tried things that worked and some things that didn't work. When I finally figured those things out, it really made it a lot easier. So just to put some things into perspective, I know most of you have been to university, so you'll get the feeling, but for those who don't, you have more time in university than you do in high school. And I know that sounds so weird, but it's true. You're not in class 8 hours each day. Um, you have a lot more time. So it's how you use it. And being self-disciplined is so key, because when you have that 1 hour between your class and practice, are you looking at your books or are you going to take a nap? And it was finding those, like using that time in between class, in between practice, in between weights efficiently. And that's something that really benefited me my past year. Another thing is, like, you're on your own, you might be away from home, and no one is forcing you to go to that 8:30 class. Like, your mom's not waking you up to tell you to go. Like, it's all on you. So just having, again, that self-discipline to like go to those classes, get that work done, is really going to benefit you. Another thing to think about is just being ahead, like getting ahead on things, because some weeks we would leave for road trips on Thursday, and I know one of my teammates, she didn't realize she had a midterm until we were leaving, and she was like, "Oh crap, I'm missing my midterm." So just get like looking at your core syllabus early, seeing, marking in your calendar like what weekends you're going to be away, what professors you need to talk to get those things done early, because that was kind of the problem I ran into. Just I was dealing with things as they were happening. I wasn't looking ahead 1 week, 2 weeks. I was too much in the moment. So just looking at your calendar and figuring those things out is really going to help. Okay, I wanted to show you guys this. So I know it looks hectic, but hear me out. This is what like our typical university schedule would look like, and this honestly saved my life. It's called Google Calendar. Some of you guys may use it, and all everyone on my team has it, and all of our coaches have access to it. So they will put our practice times in, and we'll share. So as you see, like this one right here has multiple. That means my coach can see it, so he knows what time we have class at, so he won't like schedule film or shoot or whatever. So what I really did was I looked at all the reds, that was all the basketball, and then obviously my classes, those were super important. And then these little things, I just use those hour time slots to do things like working on my lab reports, like getting in physio, working on papers, like utilizing every little time slot that I could to be more efficient with my time. And as you can see, I gave myself breaks. So I slept in on Tuesdays because you always need those. But yeah, and then yeah, as you can see, we left this week on a Thursday because it was a pretty far road trip, and I knew I had a class, so I talked to my professors beforehand about missing that. That's honestly what a typical week would look like, and just having that planned out was super, super, super helpful. And I can see like the week, I can see the month. So that's something as a coach I would suggest your players getting on, as a player getting on, because I put everything in there. My friends think I'm psycho with all the colors, but it honestly saved my life. So something just to think about. Another thing really quick is utilizing the resources that your school has to offer. So at Queens, we had, just for athletes, we had free tutoring, stuff like that. So just looking at resources that may be able to there to help you right away would have benefited me earlier on. Even the universities have how to take multiple choice exams, how to study for certain courses. Like the I always like the joke, like, you're paying so much money in tuition, like try and get the most out of it that you can, because there's so many good resources there to help you. You just have to go and find them. And as well, a big thing I figured out was working smarter, not harder. And then always like going to TA, like talking to your TA, going to office hours. If the prof knows you, if you're missing a test or anything, they're gonna be more inclined to help you. If they see you, they know you, they like you, stuff like that. And one last thing is, you're not gonna be successful in the first study trip or anything you try. Like, you are gonna have like some failures, and that's okay. Like, everybody goes through it. and stuff like that. And the biggest thing to remember is like your teammates, like your friends around you, they're all going through the exact same things, and they're here to like they're there to help you too. So if you try something and it doesn't work, maybe ask your friend what they're doing. How, oh, like they did super well on that test. Like, what are you doing? What can I add to my repertoire to help me be more successful? Because it's kind of like the basketball court. Like you see something someone likes, you take it. It's only going to benefit you in the end. So that was kind of my quick spiel. If anybody has any questions about that, definitely open it up to the group. I would look at my syllabus right away and compare it to my practice schedule and see what I was missing. If it was something small, like a quiz, then I would only tell them like 2 weeks to a week before. But if it was something bigger, like a midterm or like a test that might need more accommodation, or like a note from my coach or a note from even the head of athletics, I would do that right at the beginning of the semester because those things might take more time. Being a university student is super fun. um, Obviously, being an athlete, you do miss some things that sucks. But I think the biggest thing to remind myself is I'm like, yes, you're a student athlete, but you're also a 20 year old like person trying to form connections and like have a good life. So I think, especially being a two-term sport, I got caught up in that a lot. It was like school, basketball, school, basketball, school, basketball. So what I actually end up doing is I'm living with people that are not athletes. And I think that was really good for me because it was just nice. I could come home and decompress and play Mario Kart and, just like do the fun things that aren't like, obviously I would do that with my teammates too. I love them, but being able to just come home to a different space and a different environment where it's just, you're not thinking about the stress of practice or what tests I have coming up next, and just being like in that fun space, that was really helpful. And then in terms of difficulties, I think because like first year is just so like there's so much being thrown at you, the more you can try and get ahead of things and be prepared. And then even like trying to talk to people like who are in that course before, like, hey, like, have you checked out, like, you've done this test, got any pointers? Just like using people who have been through it would have been super helpful, especially those bigger courses. So many people have taken them, so they're going to have tricks out there to help you out. So using your resources would definitely be a helpful one on that front. Definitely working is nice. I'm still working like a 8 to 4 job. What's been great is we do most of our like running workouts and stuff in the morning as a team, and then we'll go work out, but then we don't really have practice at night. So that's been really giving us the chance to go on bike rides and go to the pier and swim and just like do things that during the season you don't, like giving us the time to be 20-year-old people, which has been super nice. It's probably, we always joke about this all the time, like this is the most like free time we're ever gonna have. So just using it to be students, because we don't get that a lot during the school year, so that's been really nice.